Hi, everybody. Welcome, truth seekers and trailblazers, to the Bigfoot, Wildman, and Boogers Show, the podcast where shadows move, legends breathe, and Bigfoot might be closer than you think. Every week, we trek deep into the unknown, diving into eyewitness accounts, breaking down the evidence, and exploring the mystery behind North America's most mysterious cryptid.
We're here to bring you real encounters and all the wild, weird, and wonderful things that go along with Bigfoot, Wildman, and Boogers. Whether you're a diehard believer, a backyard camper, or just curious, we're thrilled to have you with us.
Before we begin, don't forget to share and subscribe and like. It helps us grow the tribe. It brings more wild encounters out of the woods and into your ears. Now, grab your gear, steady your nerves, and let's take the first step into the woods with Pat Harrison.
Woo.
Hey!
Welcome.
Thank
How
you
are
for
you
having
tonight?
me.
Well, absolutely. So, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, it's great. A little bit different than Louisiana up here in Ohio,
Yeah.
but I'm inside, nice and warm.
There you go. There you go. That's what you have to do. So, well, I got the pleasure of meeting Pat this summer in the LBL and got to hear some of her stories and encounters, and it was very incredible. And she invited me to Louisiana, and I said, if you'll cook for me.
Yeah. Sure,
And she's like, I can do that.
I can do that.
So, at some point in time, we are going to have to make a trip down there. So,
Oh, I would love it. It's great. Great. Good.
well, that's
Okay.
I would love to go down there too. I haven't ever gotten to go and do that kind of thing in Louisiana. So at some
Right.
point, I'm sure, that'll be one of those that we check off that we've done. So tonight, Pat, I want you to start us off by telling us, how did you get into Bigfoot? What was it that caused you to start to look into this and get you to the point of where you're at now?
Well, mine is a little bit different story here, how I was introduced to it. I grew up in the foothills of just outside of LA in California.
Oh, okay.
And yes, and when I was, I would say 10 or 11, I do know it was either I'm giving away my age. It was either 67 or 68, because my sister was born in 69. So, and she wasn't born yet. There was, my parents had some friends that came over that they had worked with. The man had my father get out his projector, and he had a reel with him. And and they put up the screen and everything. Us children, I remember, were not allowed to be in the room. And he was discussing that he had a reel of an expedition of Bigfoot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. And I know it was Northern California. I do know that. That's all I know. I wish my parents were alive so they could tell me, so I can ask these questions.
Yeah.
But they played the reel and everything else. And then I remember maybe a month or so later, we had went over their house. I was sitting in the room. I was not allowed to look at the pictures. He had actual photographs, and he was showing them to my father, and they were getting ready to go on another expedition. And these were pictures of the Bigfoot itself. And they were discussing it openly in front of me. I was not permitted to look at the pictures.
Wow.
That's how I was
Okay.
introduced. That's
Yeah.
how I was introduced. And I've always had a fascination or an interest. I traveled most of my married life. So I always looked to see what kind of encounters were like in Pennsylvania or in Florida. My late husband was a jockey, so we traveled a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, and we lived in Florida most of the time too. So I knew about the skunk ape,
Right.
so, but when we moved back up here to Ohio, where my family was at and everything, after my husband passed, he passed in 2018. I used to come home from work. I worked the night shift, and I would come home and I would watch some of the podcasts. Not many. I really didn't even know about YouTube. I just knew there were podcasts on that I had been following for years. And I was always interested in the television shows. Well, in 2019, I retired. And I said, you know what? I don't have anybody to hold me back. The kids are grown.
Yeah.
My husband's gone. I'm retired. And I discovered YouTube. And and it was lonesome here, so I got on I got on at night, and there was a group that I followed, and it was Lady in the Woods, years ago. And so anyway, she was going to have an expedition and a little group get together, and it was going to be in Falk, Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
And I go,
hey,
I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
in. So I said, I can do this. I've traveled all my life. I'm not afraid to get in the car and go. And so one of the ladies that was there was a small group of us, and one of the ladies, she had her husband drive down, and we rode down together. And anyways, we camped out for like a week right there at Alex Smith Park in Falk, Arkansas, and I was loving life. And and I had an encounter.
Oh, wow.
And we could hear them hollering at night. It was mostly us women that were there. And later on, my Joe, this is who I met through. They're together now. He came down, and he stayed in another tent next to me. And I remember the night before he come, I had they were running. We would go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, and we could talk to one another through the tents. And I had my tent wide open. I wanted to see it all. I stayed up all night long, and they were running through. And I finally had to lay. I was laying down there, and they were running through. It was a full moon too. They were running through, and they were slapping my tent. And they were pushing my tent down. About the third time, they pushed a little bit hard, and it kind of scared me a little bit. And I hollered. And Dee Sims said, "Get out of the tent right now. Meet me." So I mean, she was right there. Meet me outside the tent. So she said, "Come here, come on," because they were. You could hear them running and scurrying and everything around there. And she took me to the edge. I could see eye shine and all. She said, "Now tell him to stop. Tell him in that motherly voice that you have, Pat, tell him to stop." And I did. And they stopped. Now, the next night, Joe was there staying in his tent next to mine. And I watched one crawl past Dee's tent, crawl up. It was probably maybe 20 feet away, maybe. And I watched it crawl up to reach out to touch him and to touch the tent. And because he was sharing the tent with someone else, and I think they were afraid to turn the light out. And I could,
that's correct.
And inside the tent, Joe was already asleep, but he's snoring a little bit. So I could see them a little bit better. I could see the side profile, and it was crawling. It was in between the tents, so I could only see the upper torso. And I watched it crawl out and try and reach out and touch him. And of course, I worked with animals all my life. Worked with the horses and things like that, with the thoroughbreds and stuff. And here I am. I'm going, well, hello there. I'm wanting to touch him, like Joe said. She's always wanting to pet one.
Yeah, right.
So so it backed out. And a couple minutes later, I watched it come back and reach out and touch him. I could see the hair on the forearms. I could see the side profile. It was more, I would say, skunk apish or whatever. I believe it possibly was a juvenile. It wasn't humongous. And it backed back out after I did all that. I couldn't leave well enough alone. So, that's basically what happened with that one. So I got the bug after that.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got the bug. And I've been doing it ever since 2019 and had tremendous luck.
It's funny. I started in 2019 also.
Did
That was
you?
that was my first expedition I ever went on,
Oh,
and
wow.
had a Class A sighting first time out.
Okay. Right.
And I looked at my husband. I said, "I'm doing this until I die."
Mhm.
And at that
Mhm.
point in time, I did not know exactly how much of it I was going to be
Right.
doing,
Yeah.
Right.
but I knew I had the bug. I mean, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely. So
Yes.
yeah, that's wild that we both started this in 2019.
Yes. I've had one actual visual sighting where that was at Falk. I have had 2 thermal,
Mm-hmm.
and that was no doubt. And also recently at Flat Rocks, I also just had a we recorded one on night vision. Recorded a few of them on
Okay.
night vision.
How
So,
often do you go over to Flat Rocks?
usually once, twice a year.
Okay. Yeah.
Whenever we want.
Yeah.
It's a case of I've been going to Flat Rocks since 2021, I believe.
Okay.
I've been going and we camped out right in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
First women, we first went with Squatching Cowboy, Joe
Mm-hmm.
Pass,
Mm-hmm.
from Texas. We went with him and his wife, and we camped out in the yard, and I knew for sure that they were there at that point because one let out a scream in the middle of the night, and it must have been over 15 seconds, that we swear, to this day. And I said, they're here.
Yeah.
You knew right then,
Right.
Yeah, that sound.
I absolutely want to go to Flat Rocks too. He has some phenomenal stuff,
Oh yeah.
That would be amazing to go do that, and it's
Mhm.
like, after hearing some of it, it's like, holy crap. And I got to meet Flat Rock and LBL this spring.
Sure.
So yeah, or
Sure.
this summer. So yeah, it was great. It was great. So tell us so we've got some video that you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pull the video up and you tell me what's going on here. Okay.
Okay. Well, to start out, what we did, this wouldn't be the first one. This is the one that I caught. I recorded this personally.
Okay.
We were at LBL and we were riding along, just testing out the camera because Bud wanted to buy one. He was interested in purchasing one. This was in March 15th, as you see, at 10 o'clock. This was supposed to be the outing that we were originally supposed to go to with Wayne and everyone, and it was canceled in March due to the weather.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. We went ahead and decided to continue to go.
Okay.
After that was all canceled, we said, hey, we're already halfway there. We're in Memphis. We're not turning back around. And Bud and Angie and everybody said, we're not turning back around either. There was 6 of us.
Right.
And so we went and we had rented a cabin at Wrangler anyway.
Right.
And because we decided we didn't want to tent or pull anything up, but due to the weather was severe.
Yeah.
It was horrible. We had to cut a partial tree out of the road for Bud and Angie to get in to be able to get back into Wrangler camp.
Wow.
And that night they were calling for softball size hail.
Oh, jeez.
It was in between storms. Oh, it was really bad. And
Yeah.
it was in between storms and everything. There was no leaves on the trees. And this was and we had left and we got there like Friday night or Friday afternoon or something. I can't remember exactly. But I do remember that we were going to leave on Sunday. And we had a break in the weather on Saturday night, and Bud wanted to go out in between. And he wanted to test out the thermal a little bit more. So we decided to go riding with the thermal, going about 5-10 miles an hour.
Okay.
Just on the back roads, no particular road.
Right.
Just headed out. And there was a lot of deer. We were comparing the night vision to the thermal, also with the deer and everything, watching how they reacted and things like that. So I had been working with the thermal a lot. We had only had it for like 2 months. So we were cruising on the back roads, and we come around a corner. And also what is really nice, it is it has the Wi-Fi to it, adaptable. So
right.
Joe puts it on his phone, and he is able to control it on his phone as well. So so he put it on the dash. It has all those Wi-Fi capabilities.
Right.
So he put it on the dash, and Bud and Joe are in the truck, and I'm in the back seat behind Joe. And our other vehicle, there was 3 other people. They were further back looking at different things with their thermals.
Okay.
So as we were coming around the corner, they could see everything that I was seeing, and Joe is controlling this camera too as well when I am filming. And I said, Joe, I got something. As we're coming around the bend, and it almost looked like it was big, and they were vertical, and it was tall, and it was just behind the wood line. Well, apparently there was a creek running along there as well. So it was along the creek.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was probably 200 yards away is all
Okay.
it was. And I said, I got something. And they see it too. They said, it's moving. So we flew up there real quick. And then on the one camera, you hear me say, start recording. And also, I don't know if that's the one, when I see something, I get a little potty mouth.
It was. Yes, ma'am.
A little potty mouth at times.
Hey,
So,
what was funny?
What the F is that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I have a video similar that we were saying the same thing. Ours turned out to be a bear that was standing upright, but I'm getting tickled because I'm like, yep, that sounds just like us.
Yeah. Well, I've done it like about 3 different times. Now Angie does it, my partner. She does it now too, it seems like. But anyways, so I said, start recording. And I know I've got something. So apparently, and I'm looking through on the other side of the creek. It's about 70 yards away.
Yeah.
We're figuring, because we did go back and recon, and we found the exact location as well.
Okay.
When we went back and did the recon. And this last time we were off maybe a couple feet, but when we went back this last time, it's all grown up right now. It was.
Yeah.
We found the exact location. Joe was able to snap the picture, and we found it. And it was turned sideways is what it was. It was trying to hide from us. It didn't think we could saw it. Like I said, it was 70. It wasn't on the side of the road. There's nobody out there at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, no.
And in between all these storms, and it was like maybe 50 degrees. It was cold. And I'm thinking, whatever this was, it was wet as well, because I'm getting the two-tone as well, the fur.
Right.
And everything that was passing through. We saw coyote hunts. The animals were out feeding because they haven't been able to get out for a few days. So I don't know if this was a group passing through, or if they were on a hunt themselves. I don't know. You know, I can't answer that. Is all I know is this is what I recorded. This is a still shot of it, what you're showing right now. And if you'll notice, I don't know what it is with the hand up over the face. I've heard about this before, about Sasquatch doing this. And it is, you can see the elbow up, and his hand is up over its face. And it's trying to hide its face. It's looking at us. That's
do you think is it like its hands like this?
Yes, I think it's doing. I think we're doing this. See, see, as you can see a closer look.
Yeah.
Of the face.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
That's interesting.
This is not a human being, and like I said, I'm not at the thing is with going through this, and I have done several interviews. I'm not here to try and convince anyone or of anything, or justify or defend myself or anything. I'm here to present the evidence for everyone to see and make their own decision. After studying this, I know what I believe it's to be. After looking at this thing hundreds of times and slowing this down and breaking this all down and having still shots, I do believe it is a dog man. I didn't believe in dog man.
So we've got the still shot. Let's bring that up.
Okay, there is, but you can see the beginning of the recording, and then when they're walking away, I gave you the walk away film. There is 3.
Okay.
There's 3 walking away.
Okay, because we've got this is the still one, right?
I don't see it.
You see it now?
No.
Okay, so this one is the one that you have labeled the LBL dog woman, and it's the still shot.
Yes. Okay, the still shots. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are stills. I chose not to enhance or do anything. These are all the thermal footage is all raw. The video, the pictures are all raw. They're not enhanced. Nothing has been done with these. Nothing has been done with these. These are just, those were stills. So they're using them on the Dogman project as well.
We were looking at this ahead of time, and tell us if we're right, because it looks like this thing has almost a mane of hair. It looks like it has breasts.
Heavy brow.
Yeah. Looks like possibly you can see the arm and the hair off the arm. And then even maybe down, we're looking at maybe a knee or something. I mean, you tell us what you're seeing, because we were kind of looking at it. It was like, okay, that's what we're kind of getting out of this.
Okay. Now, if you'll take the one when you're off camera and stuff, if you look at it through a magnifying glass, it may help you a little bit further.
Okay.
For your own satisfaction. Now, Mary Fabian and I have gone over this. She was a big help with me. You do see the mane.
Right.
That lion's mane.
Yes.
You do see somewhat of a muzzle, that heavy face. You see an arm hanging down, and it almost looks like the Grinch. You can see like 3 fingers. One is hanging down, one is up above.
Okay.
One is hanging down below its waist. It is carrying something.
Oh, okay.
It's carrying it with care. If it was, because that's my impression. It's carrying something with care, because if it was prey or anything like that, if it was a kill, it would have dropped it with all what was going on, or held it down with one hand, not cradled. As
Mm-hmm.
a mother, this is what I got out of it. As a mother, it's coming across the chest, the one hand. The other one is coming, the other arm is coming down lower. I do believe that it is carrying something.
Okay.
Um, what is her name? Sibylla Irwin.
Oh, yeah.
Also did, they had Dogman Project had her do a sketch of the still, one of the stills that you have.
Right.
And that's what she interpreted too.
Okay. Okay.
But the thing is I didn't go up and shake its hand or anything like that. So I don't know, like I
Right.
said, this is what I'm able, after studying this numerous times, because I'm going, oh no, there's no such thing as Dogman. I could see the ears in the video. And it took me a month to agree that it was possibly a Dogman.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, it's cryptid.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, because I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like that
Right.
with, like you said before,
Right.
I didn't believe in Dogman, So when we were having this discussion earlier, Bigfoot, you can see where it could be biologically possible because
Yes.
apes and humans are essentially that close.
Correct.
How do you get the Dogman?
I don't know.
I mean, for me, biologically, it's not possible. Is
Exactly.
it a creation is it a man-made creation?
I don't know. That's the thing. Put it this way. If you believe in Sasquatch, I've reached this point. You have to believe in all of it, I guess. If you believe in one, you might as well have to accept the rest.
Right.
I was the whole trip that evening, and even before we saw this, I know somebody that was at another location when we were there one time, and she saw a little person, and she's never seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see that. That's what I was out to see. I kept saying, and this is what I was given. But so if you believe in one, I guess you have to believe in all.
Well,
that's where I'm at with it.
I'm kind of there with you. I mean, it's like I believe in all of them in varying degrees, I guess.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I guess that's the easiest way to describe it. It's like, and then as we have more and more people having things happen, and or people that then you're like, well, crap, my rabbit hole is getting bigger.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, I also did an audio recording of something in Hollins up in Alabama. I do a lot of research, a lot of camping in Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
in different areas. I go to Flat Rocks. I go to Mark Green's. I went to Greg House's. I go to Kumbo's.
I want to go. I want to go.
I go to those.
Yeah.
If, like I said, and I recorded something one night on an audio, and there was only 3 of us there. Mm-hmm. And it was none of us doing it. And it had a barking sound. It had a weird sound to it too. And a lot of reports around there. But I don't know. Like I said, I recorded 16 minutes of something that is a cryptid. I know it's not human.
Right.
And it was said to me one time that, it was somebody in a suit on the side of the road. Now, how would they know we're coming through there? My response was, now, how would they know we were coming through there at 10 o'clock at night, stormy weather that we had all weekend long?
Right.
It wasn't on the side of the road. It was 70 yards back. on the other side of a creek.
Yeah.
We believe it to be um, Bud and Joe are 6'3".
Okay.
And we did some stills and we did the recon on that. And we believe it to be maybe 7 foot. This one
Okay.
was.
Yeah.
But when it was walking away on the end shots that I gave you, there is more. And they're bigger and they're walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And another one is huge. So I don't know. Is all I know is this is what I recorded 16 minutes of. We got out. Bud was going to walk towards it. He got out of the truck and I gave him the camera. And he took one step into that cornfield. It was cornfields right behind it anyway.
Yeah.
In front of it before the creek and after the creek. And he bogged down in mud over his ankles. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
He was. And you know what? I'm glad he didn't. I'm really glad he didn't. But
yeah, that's probably a good idea. He didn't.
yeah. And because I wasn't looking behind me because it was pitch black out.
Mm-hmm.
It was pitch black out. And it was also a full moon and a lunar eclipse that night too.
Oh, wow.
So, which is kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I charted that as well. And it had an escape route. Why didn't it go? It had an out. I don't understand. It's just stood there and watched us. No
Right.
sounds, no anything. I did catch some on the thermal when I did look at some of it after hundreds of times going through it. I did see a mouth open up a little bit where I saw the white. So that tells me there was some heat signature there. So apparently maybe it might have been showing some teeth. I don't know. But we didn't hear anything. The only line of sight was me looking through that camera. That was our safety.
Mm-hmm.
It was never put in, the truck was never put into park. Joe's foot was only on the brake the entire time. And I was our safety in line of sight. And Joe we thought was zooming in and out. We're trying to see exactly what this is.
Right.
And it doesn't work that way with thermals.
Right.
But
yeah.
We tried.
Well, and you have to, that
Mhm.
how do you learn if you're not doing those kind of things?
Right. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. It's a big catch. And like I said, it is on the Dogman Project site. On that, it has been brought up and spoken at conferences and things like that by some of the members of the Dogman Project have addressed that and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have been on other podcasts as well, going into depth on that.
Mm-hmm. And so talk to me a little bit about the Dogman Project. What are they doing? I mean, I know what they're doing, but explain it for us a little bit here, what they're thinking and things that they're doing.
So what they're doing is basically making awareness of the Dogman itself. And they were very interested in it. And what they do is instead of they're presenting it at conferences and different things like that. It was on Coast to Coast. I don't feel the need to go on everything. And I let them they actually speak for us. And what they do is magazines have contacted them to speak with us. And what they are the middle guy for us.
Okay.
And what they do is they try and keep our privacy down to, the best that they can do.
Right.
And kind of keeping from just anybody and everybody coming at our door, showing up at our door and things like that. This is what they do for us. They're making the awareness of Dogman and presenting evidence and showing people what's going on and what it is. Yeah, they're up here too as well. Yes. Like I said, I'm right here in Ohio, so there's a lot of reports. You're getting more and more reports of Dogman, especially in Ohio here.
Right. Yeah, that seems to be because back a few years ago, the only place you heard of them was, way up in the north.
In Michigan,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now, you're starting to, I guess, Michigan and maybe the LBL was, the predominant Dogman stuff. And now it's starting to kind of seep out into other places. Right. So my next question would be, and I know that this is something that people talk about a lot too. Could, Dogman simply be a, I don't want to call it a mutation, but a different species of Bigfoot?
Possibly. I'm open after seeing and experiencing what we experienced out there. And it wasn't just me. It just wasn't two of us.
Right.
There was actually 6 of us all together, but 3 of us actually witnessed it.
Right.
And actually witnessed. So there's 3 of us as witnesses. Plus we have the proof. And
right.
I want to present things that I have evidence on.
Right.
I don't want to sit and just talk about it.
Oh, come on now.
Be honest with you, there's enough storytellers out there.
Right.
I'm not a storyteller. I'm not good at telling stories.
Right.
But I have the proof. I have evidence. And everything that I bring up or discuss, I have proof. And we're open. We're open to sharing with everyone. Because how are we going to learn?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's to hide? What am I going to do with it? My children don't care about
right.
this film.
Right.
They could care less. Oh, Mom, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with it? I know it's historical. The thermal footage is very historical. I do know that. It's the best footage that has been ever of a Dogman, especially on thermal, that's been presented. The actual evidence. And like I said, there's 16 minutes of it. So, that's the best that I can offer. And if it helps somebody, and if we could unite and maybe learn what's going on out there, Sasquatch, Dogman, little people, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
The better off we might be. We might get somewhere if we work together. But it's going to take somebody to step forward to do it that has evidence.
Right.
And that's what we want to do.
Right. Well, and that's what we keep saying all the time too, is, we have to share, because for whatever reason, in the last 50 some years, researchers, it's all about keeping their research, hoarding it. It's mine. And they're not sharing it. Well, that's not helping anybody, you know, because then what if there's somebody that has the exact same kind of stuff, but they're holding on to it because they don't want to stick it out there because they're afraid of the ridicule, right? If somebody else has already stuck it out there, then that's just, you're proving them, they're proving you type of thing. Yeah. And that's what we keep saying all the time. It's like, so you share and you teach, and you share and you teach, it's like, and I get it if people don't want to tell you the location. I don't blame them on that, right? That's not That's not a big deal. That's not what I'm talking about when I say share. It's like you're sharing your footage you've got, your images. That's the key. Sharing that kind of stuff so that people can actually see it.
That's right. That's how I look at it. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
I don't understand it. Like I said, I'm not into storytelling. I got other things to do. But I've always been told when, and be honest with you, women, it's really hard. It's harder for us.
It is.
And I'm not a young chicken either. I'm not young and all of that where I can present all that. I'm older. I'm in the latter I'm in the latter part of my life, enjoying
Yeah.
my life. So I want to share what I have.
Right.
And females can do it too.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you right now, for a fact, especially at Flat Rocks, and he will confirm it, is his boogers love women.
Well, then sign me up. I like
They,
me some boogers.
yeah, it's the thing is we believe, Angie and I believe that they know who we are because we've been coming so much,
Hmm.
and we also keep, we all have light hair, and we keep the hats off when we go out. We will go out alone, Angie and I, and we had Jody with us too. We all have light hair,
Hmm.
and we all, I was a blonde, and they're blondes, and what we do is we go right out to them and let them come to us.
Hmm.
And we got some. We Angie had her first sighting there the time before. We are getting so close. Uh, Cameras, please don't put cameras out close. It doesn't work.
Hmm.
Um, we were part of an expedition in September. September, yeah, end of September. We always go the end of September.
Hmm.
They put cameras out all around. I like to study the behavior of them there. I have learned I've learned these guys here. And it seems a little bit different. They give us a little bit more each time. I we I camp, Joe and I camp in a camper
Hmm.
now. Oh, we're in our 60s. Come on. And
Right.
I'm tired of tent camping. Not that we can't, but why?
Right.
They like that hard shell just as well. I think
Hmm.
even better because they think they can hide a little bit better. They come right up to the back of the camper and do all kinds of stuff. I have hundreds of hours of audio just of Flat Rocks. I'm still going through it right now. And they give us something new every time. I am now getting more, instead they knocked. They told exactly where every camera was at. And without there will be a documentary that will come out, so I can't really present their evidence or anything
Right.
like that, but
Right.
they did have it on Facebook and things like that. They pushed a tree down behind Flat Rocks, and it's recorded, and
Hmm.
it's terrible. It was so close to the house. The camera was on the back of my camper. I didn't put it there. They did. But the thing is we were so close this time. I think we could have caught them
Hmm.
because, and we caught them last time. Um, Angie caught them. She didn't. You have to know your equipment too. She wasn't used to working with the night vision. Bud had had the thermal. He was on one side. He was able to catch a piece of it. It was only it was um it was actually only 45 less 40 feet away from us, watching us at the camper, because we
Hmm.
sit around the camper and talk and things like that.
Right.
At the edge of the wood line, it was only 20 feet away from them. She got a visual of it, and she got it on the night vision, and but she didn't know how to turn it on and
Oh
light it
no.
up.
Oh
And
no.
it but anyways, I we recorded her sighting and everything on Bud and Angie's fun adventures. All of that's recorded and up there. We've done experiments there. We've done a lot at Flat
Hmm.
Rocks, a lot.
Hmm.
Um, at Holland's campground, we've had a lot too. The difference is I noticed at Holland's up in Alabama is they whistle through their teeth, or they
Okay.
whistle with pursed lips.
Oh,
At
okay.
Flat Rocks, they whistle through their teeth.
Huh.
They whistle through their teeth a lot. And also, I've been this trip. I've got grunts.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've been sitting at the camper, Flat Rock, myself and Joe, and they were less than 50 foot away and come out and screamed at us 3 times.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, blood curdling screams there, and I go, okay, then,
Yeah.
you know, and and the thing is Joe, we did an experiment where one of the girls, she is a trained opera singer
Okay.
and a classical singer. And what she did is she sat in the yard and she called out to them, and she mimicked one of Flat Rock's recordings. They called back, and that is all on YouTube as well. They called back.
Wow.
But she had left that day, and the one that come out and hollered at us sounded just like her.
Wow.
And we believe it was looking for her. They, like I said, we've caught them on thermal. We go back in the back. We go into this one area. People have a tendency to get growled at. We go back there and sing. And we've had her sing. We'll play not like chanting music. We'll do just different things.
Right.
We'll go back. Angie and I went back by ourselves, and we sit back to back, and had thermals, and we had a video camera on us and things like that. And we played some audio and cattle calling, the ancient cow calling. The Swedish is what
kind of
is.
like the yodeling.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
like that. So
Okay.
that I'm really interested in that.
Mhm.
And getting responses. That's how we kept them still. Just this last time we were there, that we caught them on the night vision.
Yeah.
It was because they were going away from us. But we have caught like several things. I've got a couple howls and some yelling there this last time.
Do they whoop down there, or is it just yells?
Yes.
Okay, they whoop. Okay.
Yes, they whoop. They were a lot more vocal this time, just with little noises. We were standing. I was at one time, like I said, they had the cameras out, and Jody was just a couple feet in front of us. We were right by the wood line by the camper, okay? Because they like to come up there. There's that in between right there. And so there's a pathway you can walk down. She walked up to the pathway just a little bit. And Bud and I were standing on the edge, right outside of the camper, right close to the edge of the wood line. And they were knocking wherever the cameras were at.
Okay.
With us standing right there. That night, they seemed a lot more playful. Because they were doing mouth pops, a lot of mouth pops this time.
Yeah.
They were doing them right there, just feet away from us. I couldn't find them on the thermal because the humidity was so high. I was looking for them. It was only maybe a car length away because I had, I put recorders out every night, and I put one in an old car that's right there in the headlight.
Yeah.
And they were up playing with it. They were up playing with it and grunting and everything. I go, wow, I've got some vocals up. I'm getting a little bit more interaction this time.
Yeah.
We had just went in after they were doing the knocking, and I'm going, well, come on over here. Trying to talk to them and everything. I'm hearing everything in real time that I've got on the recorder as well, which is great. I'm just not able to find them through with the thermal. And we finally went in. I went in, I threw another thermal out right outside the camper door. And I always put it like in the chair drink holder
Yeah.
right there. And we hadn't been in less than 15 minutes. And they were dropping something, playing with something, and they were throwing some rocks. Normally, they don't even throw rocks. We've heard them in the coolers out there, right outside the camper. I've heard them walking. Jody, the one girl, she used to sleep in her car, and she stopped that. She said, "Oh no, I'm not scared." And I go, "Well, here, come in. No, maybe you want to sleep in here with me, with us. I think you might want to sleep in the camper." And she was putting that netting. She was rolling the windows down, and she had the netting
Oh my
on the
gosh.
windows.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, "Oh no, they're snipping up all up on you. I hear them because I got a recorder right across from you, just feet from you." And she heard it. She said, "I'm in the camper." Yes. She was doing all that, and she wasn't hearing anything. I could hear them. They just they did a lot of knocking this time. But they were playing the one night. It was very playful. It sounded, you could tell by the audio just by studying this over days at a time. But the last night that the whole group was there with all the men, there was a lot of men there and stuff. It seemed more aggressive. The knocks were a lot harder, a lot louder. Everything was, any kind of vocals were a little bit sharper. So it seems like it was like an agitation. Also with the tree is humongous they pushed over. It was humongous.
Yeah.
So, in our belief, cameras don't work.
Right.
We witnessed it. I witnessed it for a fact. I watched it. Like I said, I watched it all. They told us right where they were all at by knocking.
Right.
And they captured nothing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
I think cameras are hard. I mean, I've seen a few pictures that are pretty good, but most of the time it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. For whatever reason, they know where they're at, whether it's they see you put them up, they can sense them. I mean, whatever it is, they know.
Aren't there like lights, like little red dots or whatever on them that
they're
indicators?
Yes, you can pick that up. Actually, but they don't seem to mind the recorders.
No.
I have found in the locations that I go to, whether it's the swamps or anything like that, they don't seem to mind those. I also have a camera on the back, a backup camera on the back of my camper that stays on 24/7. And you can see the red lights on it at night, but they don't seem to mind those. I think they keep just out of distance from those.
Yeah.
With our camper anyway, it doesn't seem to deter them too much. With us anyway.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, you were talking about that someone had talked about seeing the little people in the LBL. We went to a place in Arkansas in September, and what one of our investigators encountered, he was, had his therm out, and he was catching something. It wasn't a bright signature, but it was something that caught his attention. And he walked down the road toward it. And when he got closer to it, it was wings and a body.
Oh, wow.
And he came back and he said, "I can't go back and tell anybody this. I can tell you this, but I can't tell anybody else." And I said, "What?" And he starts telling me, he goes, "It looked like a damn fairy."
Exactly.
Right. And so then the next night we were in camp, and not only was he getting him at one end of the camp, and another lady was getting him at the other end of camp.
Sure.
And so we hadn't told anybody. The Saturday, we had some locals come in telling us some of their encounters. And at the very end, the husband looked at the wife and said, "Tell her the crazy stuff now." you know, and I'm, you know, you're kind of laughing because they've been telling me all this Bigfoot stuff and they're saving the crazy for last, right? Well, they're ATVers. And one night they were out there at like 1 a.m. riding around, and they said it was like time stopped and this thing flew in front of the ATV. And the lady was like, I'm not kidding you. She goes, it had wings, it had a body, it had a face. She goes, and it looked like it had some semblance of clothing on.
Wow.
And I'm like, and the guy that had filmed, you know, got the heat signature, about jumped out of his chair. He's like, oh my God, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the gentlemen that had been with us on that expedition, he went back, and he was, we did a live podcast Friday night, and he was in chat. He went back. The same area has the same kind of activity still going on that we encountered. And he said he was talking to some locals, and there was 2 locals that ATV down there, and said they had seen trolls on the trail.
Oh, wow. See, now I'm all about seeing any of that too, as well. So, but
Right.
we are going, when we get back in January, we are going on a trip to Florida with, I guess they're having one of our friends is having a get together there that's been doing this for many, many years and been very supportive with us. We are going to his place, and there'll be other researchers there that we've never met.
Oh,
and
wow.
we're going to be going into the Green Swamp.
Okay.
So this is our new adventure we're going on. In January, we're doing that one.
Yeah.
You know, but I know that's coming up. But we do a lot in Louisiana too.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of encounters. We had at a pond, I researched for a year. We studied this place for a year. They were knocking when we were coming up and everything. We didn't go out to them. We kept our distance and everything. And all of a sudden, they did the burn and cut back, and they moved. But we were able to locate them a little bit further down the road. And normally we do not do any yells or knocks. We will knock. We will knock, trying to get a location indicator. We do knock on occasion. If you're going out into the national forest and things like that, you got to have somewhere to start.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so that's what we do. We do that. We've had, I've had something happen to us. We had the swamp on either side of us on this dark road that we go on, and it was only, he had something in front of him a few feet away from me. It was like midnight, pitch black. It was all water on both sides, mostly water. And I had something, no wind, and there was something, it sounded like the Crocodile Dundee thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And it was only 10 feet in front of me. And I had the flashlight on it. It happened 5 times. I still don't know what it was to this day. It was not wind. It was not trees rubbing. I don't know what it was. It's the weirdest sound I ever heard in my life.
That's interesting, because I know someone who has that and does that.
So do I.
So that's interesting that you had that happen.
And I had been asking for a long time, years back. This happened about maybe 5 years ago. And I would say even further back than that. It was in the beginning of me going out, actually, that I experienced that. And and I asked. I was always asking everybody, have you ever heard this? Have you ever heard this? No. Now it's coming out. People are hearing this. And I heard it, years back. And people are picking up on it now. So
we've been using it a little bit sometimes to see if we can provoke anything, and I mean, at this point, because like you were saying, we don't go out and necessarily yell like we
No.
used to, because
Right.
first of all,
Whatever.
you don't know what you're saying.
Right.
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 We could really be stirring the pot with that, so
Well, you could. I'm not really too against it, but if that's your cup of tea, go ahead.
well, and that's if we have somebody that's just really adamant,
Sure.
we do
Yeah.
that. We just don't do it a lot, right? Same thing with the knocking, we might try that. What we basically do anymore is we put ourselves out there more as like a target.
Sure.
It's like, come see us, come check
Sure.
us out,
Sure.
that kind of thing, and that seems to work more times than not. They're just so stinking curious about what us little hairless apes are doing in the woods,
Right. The female thing, now Flat Rock will tell you that we get more activity than anybody that ever comes there.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a lot. We get a lot as soon as we get there, all the way up till when we leave. And people go there and they get growled at. If they're lucky, they'll get growled at,
Mm-hmm.
or they might hear a little something.
Mm-hmm.
But not us. We get activity the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't you
it's
think
great.
it's the intent you go there with?
I think so too. Also there, I believe there may be a little bit of paranormal there too. I did pick up something on the recorder years back, and I let him know about that. Some other researchers have picked up a little bit, but when we were out this last time, way out there by ourselves, us girls, there was 4 of us girls. I heard talking,
Mm-hmm.
and this weird, I don't know, dog noise or something, but I heard talking, and people have, there's been things reported like, like mists or, like a walking mist or something. There could be, there is some, Indian history there,
Oh, okay.
some mounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But the thing is I go there open. I don't go there looking for just one thing or evil or anything like that. My attitude is I go in, I pray up before I go in. I'm prayed up. I'm prayed up before I go in, not when I come out. I don't
Right.
choose. I live here in Ohio. I live right across the street from the city cemetery. It's only
Oh,
feet away.
yeah.
They're not allowed in here. I don't go
Right.
and sit in I told them when I moved in, I don't sit in the front yard. I will never sit in this front yard at night, ever. And this is yours. People have been seen crossing the street right in front of my house, a little girl and a woman and things like that. I choose not to recognize it. And I choose not to have the fear.
There you go.
So I think
Yeah.
not having the fear is a lot.
Yeah.
Animals pick up on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, people can pick up on it too.
Sure.
People that,
Sure.
they can
Sure they
too.
can.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, Pat, it has been amazing speaking to you
Thank
this
you.
evening.
You
I'm
too.
so glad that you came on with us. And I'm sure you and I are going to have more adventures.
I think so too. I think we should.
I'm absolutely. I'm 100% game. So,
Oh yeah. So am
Yeah.
I.
Yep. I'm
Always.
game.
Always.
Yep. I'm always up for it. Probably I'm willing to do more things than I probably should at this point, but
Yeah.
Well, put it this way. I don't have anything to lose. I'll be 70 in just a couple months.
Mhm.
And something, it's not going to come to me. I'm going to have to go to it.
Mhm.
And it keeps me active. It will
Absolutely.
keep you active. It keeps me healthy. And you get out and enjoy nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people you meet.
And the people, I never had so many friends.
I know. I absolutely love the people I meet. It's great. It's great.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
We're
Thank
going to
you.
have you back on at another time and talk more with you, because I'm sure you've got all kinds of other things to share with us too. But thank
Well, I
you so
do.
much for coming on, and
Thank
we
you
will
for
see
having
you
me.
again. All
Okay,
right.
thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, tribe, that's all for this episode of the Bigfoot, Wildman, and Booger Show. Thanks for wandering the Missouri woods with us today.
If you enjoyed today's encounter and want to keep these legends alive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us keep track of the wild and legendary encounters that make our place so mysterious.
We'll be back soon with more mysteries, more encounters, and maybe a few surprises hidden in the shadows. Until then, keep your boots muddy, your eyes on the tree lines, and remember, show me your Bigfoot.